13 weeks in, minus one game that gets played later tonight, but we will not delay the awards for the Ravens and the Cowboys. MDS, as I said earlier, we'll just assume no one from the Ravens or the Cowboys will do anything award-worthy, and we'll trudge on through without them. So, the four categories, as always: Offensive Player of the Week, Defensive Player of the Week, Rookie of the Week, Coach of the Week. We'll get it rolling with MDS and the Offensive Player of the Week.
Well, I've got Darren Waller, the tight end for the Raiders, who had an outstanding game against the Jets, catching 13 passes for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. But I also want to point out that on that incredible touchdown pass to win the game, where the Jets shocked everyone with that all-out blitz, Waller stayed in and picked up the blitzer, who would have been right in Derek Carr's face if Waller hadn't made that block. So the guy's the Raiders' leading receiver for the day, but also a tremendous blitz pickup on the biggest play of the day. He just had a great game. He's playing great football this year.
He is, MDS. And before I get to mine, I'm going to make note that we didn't forget Baker Mayfield. Yes, he had a great game in the first half, and anytime you're throwing Otto Graham's name in there, it's a great half. I had him on our review as the best player in that game, and our review got thrown out. So just a note that we didn't forget Baker Mayfield. He just got thrown out in our review. And I'm going to pick Davante Adams because he leads the league in yards per game. Of course, he missed a couple games earlier this season, but 102.9. It's just been amazing. 7 consecutive games with a touchdown, 10 catches, 121 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the win against the Eagles the other day, and caught Aaron Rodgers' 400th career touchdown pass. And you know, I think the receiver position is going to be really hard to decide who the all-pro receivers are. You only get to pick 2 of them, but I think we've got to put his name right in there as one of those top 2 receivers.
Yeah, you know, it's Aaron Rodgers and it's Davante Adams. Aaron Jones has good performances from time to time. He's not consistently dominant. There isn't a whole lot of help in the passing game for Aaron Rodgers beyond Davante Adams. If he stays healthy, that team can go extremely far, and Adams has been special. For me, it's Josh Allen from the Monday night game. Josh Allen was spectacular last night. When I spoke to him the prior week after they beat the Chargers, I asked him about the upcoming slate of primetime games. They have 3 in 4 weeks. Is there any element of we're anxious to show the world what we can do? And he said there isn't. The way he played last night tells me there is. This was an opportunity for the Bills for the first time in a long time to win on Monday Night Football, and they were great. The offense was unstoppable. And when you have, against that 49ers defense, because they don't have the pass rush they had last year, if you can't put heat on Josh Allen, those defensive backs can't cover good receivers. They just can't. All due respect to Jason Verrett and Richard Sherman, they can't do it. They cannot do it. Verrett was in a cat and mouse thing with Stephon Diggs last night, and Diggs was the cat, and Diggs constantly won. And Sherman, I don't get it at this point because I don't really see him do much of anything when the play's on. He stands in one spot, he moves a few steps, he points at someone else if the coverage gets blown, and that's pretty much it, all due respect. All right, let's go with Defensive Players of the Week for Week 13. MDS, who you got?
I got Justin Houston of the Colts, who had 3 sacks on Sunday, one of which forced a fumble. Another recorded the 4th safety of his NFL career, which ties the all-time record. He believes he ought to have the all-time record all to himself because he had another play that he thinks he should have been credited with a safety. It was officially ruled a team safety by the offense. He thinks he should have 5 career safeties. Whatever. He has 4 official career safeties, and he is playing very good football. I think he's one of the biggest reasons that Colts defense is going to make them tough to beat in the playoffs.
MDS, I'm going with the other guy who had 3 sacks, and that's Kyle Van Noy. And he was mic'd up for the game. And before the game, he said, I woke up feeling dangerous. I'm going to get me a 3-piece today. And he got him a 3-piece. He had 3 sacks. Initially, it was ruled 2.5. He had to split the sack. And before the game was over, they had changed that to a full sack for Kyle Van Noy. But he had 8 tackles, 3 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, 1 pass breakup. And you see the reason that Brian Flores wanted to bring him in from New England, because he has been the guy. 6 sacks now for the season. 4 of them have come in the last 2 weeks. His career high was last season was 6.5.
I woke up feeling dangerous. Baker Mayfield finds another path into the awards, even though he didn't actually make it into the awards this week. That was his great quote from a couple of years ago, his rookie season with the Cleveland Browns. Mine, Tyrann Mathieu, for a couple of reasons. First of all, he had 2 interceptions against the Denver Broncos, and he sealed the team's fate, Denver's fate, that is, on the drive that happened with the Broncos down only 6 points. But also, Tyrann Mathieu made it clear last week when he's done playing, he's coming to work with us. So, this is just advanced employee relations. All right, Tyrann, we can't wait to get you here. But the way you're playing, I have a feeling it's going to be a while. He's been the heart and soul of that defense ever since he arrived. It was a great move by the Chiefs to get him last year. He's paying off dividends over and over again, and it's helped that team become a complete team, not just an offense that is susceptible to being outscored. They do give up their share of points, but they clamped down the other night and got the victory thanks to the 2 interceptions. All right, it's Rookie of the Week time, MDS. Who you got?
I got Tay Crowder of the Giants. He's a rookie 7th-round draft pick who's making a big impact. He led the team with 6 solo tackles in a very good defensive performance against the Seahawks on Sunday. And, that Giants defense has a lot of young, unheralded late-round picks who aren't playing like young, unheralded late-round picks. Obviously, it helps that they're in the NFC East. In another division, they wouldn't be playoff contenders. But they are playoff contenders, and I don't know that an opposing offense wants to face that defense in January. And the scenario that really fascinates me is the idea that Tom Brady could end up on the road against a Giants team that has given him trouble in the postseason a couple times. I think that defense would give Tom Brady everything he could handle. I think that's something we really need to keep an eye out for, because with players like Tay Crowder, this Giants defense is only getting better as the season goes on.
No question about that, MDS. And I'm going with a defensive player, too, and that's Cameron Dantzler. We all want to talk about the Vikings' first-round pick, Justin Jefferson, who's really stood out. But Cameron Dantzler's done the same thing on the other side of the ball. Of course, he had the COVID case earlier this year. But the third-round pick really has made up for the losses they had at that position in the offseason. Been a very consistent guy. Had his first career pick, and he also forced a fumble. And the fumble came on the only completion that he gave up all day. 7 times he was targeted, gave up 1 completion for 4 yards, and forced a fumble by Chris Conley at the end of that. So he had 4 tackles, interception, forced fumble, and recovered fumble, and just was outstanding for the Vikings on Sunday.
They definitely need that on that side of the ball with so much upheaval at the cornerback position. You mentioned their first-round pick, Justin Jefferson. That's my guy. He didn't have a dramatically huge, eye-popping day, but it was consistent. It was solid. It's what he tends to do week in and week out. He's got over 1,000 yards in just 12 games, only the 4th NFL rookie to ever do that. And his first 2 games were kind of a nothing. They weren't working him into the offense yet. It is proven the Vikings right in the trade that sent Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills, and I think it's fitting that Justin Jefferson wears number 18. That was the number Randy Moss initially wore when he came to the Vikings before he switched to 84 back in 1998. All right, Coach of the Week time, MDS, who do you have?
I have Darrell Bevell, who has said he views his situation as the Lions' interim head coach as a 5-game audition to become the head coach. Now, I suspect Lions ownership probably wants to make a more significant change and not just move on to Matt Patricia's offensive coordinator. But I liked the way Bevell had the Lions playing on Sunday. It would be easy for a team in that situation to pack it in after falling behind early. Instead, the Lions played very spirited football in the second half, came back and won. Darrell Bevell deserves a lot of credit for that.
We all thought Washington, the Steelers were going to lose. We certainly didn't think Washington was going to be the team to do it. Ron Rivera fired after a 5-7 record last season. He's 5-7 this season and being talked about for Coach of the Year. What a turnaround for Ron Rivera. Right team, right coach, right time for Ron Rivera.
Definitely comeback player of the year and Alex Smith, maybe coach of the year in Ron Rivera. I'm going to go to Cleveland since you snubbed Baker Mayfield, Shireen. We'll give Kevin Stefanski the Coach of the Week award from my perspective. Look, that win over the Titans, signature victory, one of the most important wins the Browns have had in a very, very long time, to go into Tennessee and prove that they could not only just compete with a great team, but blow a great team off the field. They have a burst of confidence, and Stefanski told me after the game, this is December football. The guys are working harder and better and smarter, and they know what the stakes are week in and week out, and they are right on the brink of making it to the postseason for the first time in 18 years.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.